Meet Katie, the creator behind the YouTube channel Katie Roams. Through her videos, she documents life on the road, living out of her car and heading into the wild for solo camping adventures. Her content highlights the beauty of the outdoors, the freedom of minimalist living, and the quiet peace that comes with being alone in nature. But one trip would remind her just how unpredictable that solitude can be. On this particular day, Katie set out for what she expected to be a cozy and relaxing wild camp. She was excited to use her tent again after spending several nights tarp camping. Her plans included a refreshing swim in a stunning lake she had discovered earlier, soaking in the calm and isolation of the surroundings. As evening drew closer, she began searching for a place to set up camp, carefully navigating boggy ground and clouds of mosquitoes until she found a flat, moss-covered spot that felt perfect.
Hey roamers! Today we are going on a very cozy little wild camp. I've got the tent is back out. I'm very excited to use it again. I haven't been in my tent in quite a while. I've been using my tarp for a while, but hold up. I just found this lake. Okay, it's gorgeous. Do I have my swimming stuff? Yes. Am I gonna go for a dip? Obviously, why wouldn't I? Wait. I bought sunglasses. Let's get in, shall we? Got my new fancy sit mat with me. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm really hoping it's not cold because I'm not very good with cold water. But let's dip.
Flipping freezing that is, but it's kind of nice at the same time.
I've had my little dip, but I do need to get a move on because, well, it's kind of late. It's around 7 p.m. right now. And I'm chilly as well. So I need to get dressed. I need to go for a wander. I need to find a spot first of all to actually camp. I was gonna try and camp around the lake, but there are no flat spots that aren't boggy. There's a lot of boggy bits and the mozzies are a bit of a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed. I'm gonna go on a wander and we're gonna find a spot.
After pitching her tent and setting up her sleeping system, Katie decided to make herself more comfortable by building a makeshift chair out of fallen logs. A small but telling example of her resourcefulness.
It's my tent fully set up. I'm gonna go ahead and set my sleeping system up so I've got somewhere warm to go because my hands are still a little bit cold. And then I've decided there's a lot of branches around me, so I'm gonna make myself a little chair and then we can cook some dinner. That's my plan. Right, I need around 6 pieces of wood, like big pieces of wood for this chair. This one's dead and fallen and is looking quite sturdy, so I'm going to take this one first. They're good pieces of wood. I think that might do my entire thing. It's not in my way anymore. I have my 6 logs here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create 2 triangles, one with 2 bases on it, so that I can slot them together and that'll create a chair.
Everything seemed peaceful at first, but as she settled in, the mood suddenly shifted. Out of nowhere, Katie noticed the smell of cigarette smoke drifting through the air. Moments later, she heard men talking somewhere in the distance. Instantly, her sense of calm disappeared. Camping alone, this was the kind of situation that put her on high alert. She quietly turned on her camera to document what was happening, even considering calling her mother, just in case things took a turn.
A group of men. I can smell their cigarettes and I can hear them as well. So I'm just going to leave my camera on record for like the foreseeable future until they leave. I would be quite concerned if they came any closer. So I'm just going to leave my camera on in case, because if they come up, my camera's on, I'll be on the phone with my mum or something. I'll call my mum and just, fingers crossed they don't come, but I don't really, well, I'm out here alone. I'm building a chair. They might be harmless, but it's better safe than sorry. So if you ever are in a situation like this, put your camera on record and call someone. It's the best thing you can do.
The men remained nearby, their music echoing through the forest and breaking the silence she had come for. Katie stayed as quiet as possible, aware that if she could hear them, there was a chance they could hear or even see her. The realization only made her more uneasy. Trying to stay calm, she continued with her camp routine, finishing her improvised chair and preparing dinner.
I'm trying to be quiet because I don't want them to know I'm here. I am quite camouflaged, but I have seen them, so if I can see them, they can most likely see me. Oh, I'm scared. It's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Anyone solo, if there's a group of people near you have every right to be concerned, because they are quite scary. I don't know if you can hear that, but the scary men are now playing music and smoking cigarettes. Okay, if you're playing music on a speaker, loud, in a forest, which is very peaceful, and chain smoking cigarettes, I really thoroughly enjoy that. Now that I've got my chair finished, I do believe it's time for some dinner. An update on the men. They are staying over there, probably about 50 metres away from me. They came over to say hello. They said they saw a light, which is this light. And they said hello, invited me for beers and for dinner. I said no thank you. Yeah, hopefully all is good. I'm sure everything will be fine. First of all, I don't drink, so I just said, sorry I don't drink, but and I've had dinner already, which I haven't. I'm just making my dinner now. I don't really encounter people often. It's not a common occurrence. They're also still playing music.
But before long, the men walked closer and approached her campsite. They greeted her casually, explaining they had noticed her light and invited her to join them for beers and food. Trusting her instincts, Katie politely declined, saying she didn't drink and had already eaten. The men backed off, but their presence lingered, and the music continued to play. As the night wore on and midnight approached, the noise only grew louder. Any sense of comfort or safety was gone.
Currently around midnight right now. I've just packed up my bag and my tent because I don't know if you can hear that, but the music is really loud. I don't feel safe here, so I'm gonna head back to the car now. I'll see you there. Well, I am back at the car. It is around 12:30, pushing on 1 a.m. right now. I'm really disappointed that I had to leave, but safety-wise, I'm very glad that I made the decision to leave. I do try and post 3 times a week, and things do go wrong sometimes. And I am going to show you, because it is the reality of being a solo traveller or just being a solo camper and things like that. Things do go wrong and there's no support system out there. So it is okay to leave if you don't feel safe, if the energy isn't right.
Though disappointed to abandon the camp she had worked hard to set up, Katie knew staying wasn't worth the risk. Quietly and quickly, she packed everything, her tent, her gear, her sleeping system, and began the walk back to her car. Keeping her head down, she passed the group without engaging, focused solely on leaving safely. While the trip didn't unfold the way she had hoped, Katie's experience serves as an important reminder for anyone who camps alone. The wilderness itself can feel unsettling, but people in isolated places can be far more unpredictable. Trusting her instincts and choosing to leave ensured she made it out safely. And sometimes, the smartest move in the wild is knowing when to pack up and go. What's up, Silent Nightmare family? I have something huge to share with you today. If we hit 100,000 subscribers, 10 lucky subscribers will each receive a $50 gift card. You can choose any gift cards. That's $500 in total prizes as a thank you to this amazing community. It's super easy to enter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like this video, comment below with your favorite Silent Nightmare video or your scariest camping story. That's it. Let's hit 100K together and celebrate the only way we know how, with a massive giveaway. Sam is a YouTuber from Cleveland, Ohio, who has been running a channel called Northern Wind since 2016. His content focuses on outdoor trips and stealth camping adventures. For those unfamiliar with the term, stealth camping involves setting up a tent or parking a camper in unexpected places without using an official campsite. These locations can range from quiet city parks to isolated forest areas. In January 2024, Sam uploaded a video documenting one such trip into the woods near Cleveland. He parked his camper close to a local dog park before heading deeper into the forest on foot. Along the way, he came across something unsettling, a torn, abandoned tent lying among the trees. It was an ominous sight, but Sam chose to continue. He eventually set up camp, turned on his stove, and began preparing dinner. As night fell, two strangers passed through the area. Even at a distance, Sam noticed something off about them. There was an uneasy presence, a tension he couldn't quite explain, an instinctive feeling that something wasn't right. Seasoned campers often say that when your instincts warn you, it's best to leave immediately. Sam, however, decided to stay the night and kept filming.
Not through the tent, I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent.
Later, as he lay inside his tent, he heard footsteps outside. They were slow at first, then growing louder. Sam called out, asking who was there, but received no response. He tried again, and again. It wasn't until the fifth attempt that someone finally answered. In that moment, every camper's worst fear became real.
Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. Hello? Alright, I'm getting the out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're f***ing with me. They're f***ing with me here. Holy crap. Get away. What do you want? Hello? I can't see you. Hello?
Viewers later pointed out that Sam may have made a critical mistake by saying things like, "I can't see you, I'm scared," and "I don't like this." Some believe those words may have revealed fear or vulnerability. After a while, the footsteps faded, and it seemed as though the strangers had left. But when Sam stepped outside his tent, he saw them again. They were standing nearby, silently watching him.
I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! Alright, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone!
As he turned back toward his campsite, Sam realized the strangers were taking his belongings. He didn't confront them. Fear took over. Instead, he ran.
And out of here, we're going. I'll come back for this some other time. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. I'm leaving, don't follow me!
Becoming increasingly aware that he was being followed. He reached his camper, got inside, and drove away as fast as he could. Later, he shared the full experience with his audience. Some viewers accused Sam of staging the encounter, arguing that no one would continue filming while being chased through the woods at night. Others, however, believed his fear was genuine. His reactions didn't feel scripted. They felt real. To this day, no one knows who those people were or what they wanted. It may have been a cruel prank, but their behavior suggested something far more threatening than simple theft. And one chilling question remains unanswered. What would have happened if Sam hadn't run? We'll never know, and maybe that's for the best. Luke from the Outdoor Gear Review wanted to try something different. Instead of squeezing into the front seat like he usually did, he decided to sleep in the back of his truck on a cot. What was meant to be a simple overnight test quickly turned into a night he'd never forget. The trip began with Luke driving through thick fog. It was strangely warm, around 60 degrees, even though patches of snow still covered the ground. The contrast created a heavy, unsettling haze that made it difficult to see more than a short distance ahead. After finally pushing through the fog, Luke started searching for a place to park for the night.
It has been a long time since I've done a stealth truck camp. I did one a few years back right when COVID started spreading around, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoyed that adventure, so hopefully you all will enjoy this adventure as well. My plan for this trip is to head off of the mountains, and together we will find a place to camp. Maybe a gas station, grocery store parking lot, Walmart, who knows. We will just have to wait and see where we end up. I'll tell you what though, folks, because it's so foggy, I'm going to shut off the camera and drive. I really do need to focus on what I'm doing here because visibility is very limited.
After pushing through the fog, Luke started looking for a place to park for the night.
Now folks, that is an interesting option over there. We have a Sheetz gas station. Unfortunately, it's on the other side of the road and there's no easy way to get to it. I can do a U-turn, but for now, let's just keep driving and let's see what we can find. There may be something better down the road here, not only for parking, but also for some food. Now folks, I just saw a sign for Walmart. We might as well just keep on going, head to that, and see what the parking lot looks like.
He passed a gas station, but kept driving when he spotted a Walmart sign. The parking lot was large and mostly empty, the kind of place where he could blend in and avoid attention. As he always did, Luke checked the area carefully before settling in. Everything felt normal. He then drove to a nearby Taco Bell for dinner. The place was packed with college students, and he waited about 25 minutes for his food. With a bag of hard-shell tacos in hand, Luke returned to his spot at Walmart. Back in the truck, he rolled down the windows to cool off and ate his now soggy tacos while thinking about the many nights he'd spent sleeping in the cars and trucks across the country. He even shared a story about an old friend who once stole from a Walmart during a road trip, a friendship that ended shortly after. Around 1 a.m., Luke settled in for the night. The cot was surprisingly comfortable, even if he had to lean slightly against the door. He planned to wake up early, make some coffee, and get back on the road. But at 3 a.m., something woke him. A man was wandering the parking lot, singing the same eerie song over and over again. Through his cracked windows, Luke could make out words about the devil, For hours, the man paced in circles, occasionally screaming at dumpsters and shouting curse words into the darkness. Luke stayed perfectly still, watching quietly, not wanting to draw attention to himself. At one point, a truck driver pulled into the lot, heard the yelling, and immediately drove away. Somehow, despite the unsettling chaos outside, Luke managed to fall back asleep. When he woke up around 6:30 a.m., the parking lot was filling with shoppers, but the strange man was still there, still singing his disturbing songs as if he'd never stopped.
And yeah, I don't know. Like, he just walks around this parking lot like all night long. It's pretty bizarre. You might be able to hear him singing right now. It's really, really strange, folks. I thought he was singing like Christian music, but that's not the case. I just heard him blurt out, "Mother." Anyways, that was my night. I did sleep good, but it has been interesting. I'm pretty much ready to get out of here now that the sun is coming up.
Sipping his morning coffee, Luke tried to process the night. The cot setup had worked perfectly, far better than sleeping in the front seat. But the experience itself had been anything but peaceful. Like so many nights spent in parking lots, this one was a reminder that even the most ordinary places can turn unsettling after dark. The truck camping experiment was a success, but once again, Luke had crossed paths with the kind of strange encounter that seems to happen only in the middle of the night, when most people are safely asleep in their homes. This is Sergey, an experienced hunter hardened by years spent deep in the wilderness. He's a true professional, someone accustomed to isolation, danger, and the unknown. But what Sergey encountered during one expedition was unlike anything he had ever faced before, and it left even seasoned viewers shaken. The chilling footage was uploaded in February 2019 to a YouTube channel called Bad Pioneer. The channel doesn't belong to Sergey himself. Instead, the videos were shared by his friend, also a hunter, who regularly films and uploads content related to life in the wild. On this particular journey, after reaching a remote location and setting up camp, Sergey spent several days searching for signs of his target, the Manchurian wapiti. This large species of deer is extremely cautious and rarely seen. Hunters usually stalk it at night, setting decoys in areas where it might pass. One night, Sergey found what seemed like the perfect spot. He climbed into a tree, settled in, and waited. That's when everything changed. At first, the forest was quiet, but around 1 a.m., the silence was broken by strange metallic sounds echoing through the trees. The noise was faint but rhythmic, like metal striking metal.
Какой-то непонятный. Время где-то около часа ночи. Стук такой металлический.
This was deeply unsettling, especially considering Sergey was roughly 60 miles from the nearest village, completely alone in the wilderness. The metallic knocking continued for nearly half an hour before it began to change, shifting into something that sounded entirely different and far more disturbing.
Ничего не пойму. Как будто люди какие-то, хотя здесь быть не может.
Deciding it was best to abandon the hunt, Sergey climbed down and headed back toward his camp, trying to make sense of what he'd heard. But on the way, new sounds emerged. This time, they were much closer.
Хера себе, блядь, это чё? Тихо. Твою мать.
Hoping to scare off whatever was out there, Sergey lit a fire. Instead of helping, it only made things worse. The fire revealed his exact location, and the fear intensified. It felt as though something was circling him, snapping branches and moving deliberately, fully aware of where he stood.
Вон там где-то. Тихо. Так, собираем. Растаскивай головешки. Тихо. Блять, тушим давай. Тихо, чтобы не поехала никуда. Блять, сейчас сольем их нахуй. Фляжку давай, блядь. Тут вода, не до воды, блядь. Заливай. Заливай, блядь. Тихо. Давай, не ссы. Быстрее, блядь.
Realizing the situation was becoming dangerous, Sergei climbed back into a tree, giving himself a defensive position above the ground. Soon after, he fired a warning shot. What followed was a scream, loud, piercing, and unmistakably unnatural, echoing through the forest.
Пошли, блядь. Лезь аккуратно. Опа. Опять нахуй. О-о-о-о.
The sound stopped for a while, but the silence lasted only about an hour. Then the noises returned, louder and closer than before. Panicked but focused, Sergei quickly built a makeshift shelter and continued firing shots in self-defense. After several rounds, the forest fell silent once again. That silence lasted until morning. To this day, no one knows what truly happened that night.
Блядь, их нахера там, ёб твою мать. Тихо, старик. Сейчас покажу, блядь. Тоже, пострелять хуй его знает, туда или туда, блядь. Блядь, близко совсем.
Was it an animal producing sounds Sergei had never heard before? Later in the expedition, he discovered old signs of human activity, trees marked with cuts used for collecting resin, and nearby, an abandoned campsite. In the comment section of the video, viewers quickly began sharing their theories. Some believed Sergei had encountered a skinwalker, a creature from Native American folklore said to mimic human voices to lure lone travelers. Others were convinced it was Bigfoot. And then there are those who believe the explanation is far more ordinary, that Sergei may have unknowingly crossed paths with another hunter, and in the deep isolation of the forest, both men terrified each other. But whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: something followed Sergei in the darkness that night, and it wanted him to know it was there. The YouTube channel. The Dog Daddy is usually all about dog training. There are no camping trips, no late-night forest walks, nothing out of the ordinary, just videos focused on canine behavior, obedience, and control. But in one particular video, something completely unexpected happened, something that left both the creator and his audience deeply unsettled. It began with a short clip the trainer posted about a strange encounter on his property. One day, a woman appeared out of nowhere, standing outside his gate and asking to see his dogs. The request immediately felt odd, so he did what many creators would do. He started recording.
Sorry, what did you say?
I heard you had these beautiful black German shepherds here, so I came down to say hi.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Is it okay if I come in? Just for a quick second.
Oh, no, we don't really allow visitors in.
I came a long way just to...
How do you even know they were here?
Somebody told me. This is where you...
How did you get here? How did you get here?
I walked from all the way down the road. Someone dropped me off.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, no, we don't really allow visitors. We just moved in, and these dogs, they're out here with me now. They're friendly, but we have some rescue dogs and even protection dogs behind the other gate over there. So, we don't really have a open door policy.
I'm really great with dogs. Is it okay if I meet them? You'll see, I'll show you.
No, if these guys, they're out, if they want to come say hi at the gate, it's okay, but we don't really have any visitors on the property.
I mean, this is like the only...
No, don't open the gate. Like I said, the dogs in the back, they are not as friendly as the ones that are out here, so please don't open the gate.
I'll show you. It's just going to be a quick second.
No, not today. Maybe another time, but we're not allowing visitors. And I don't even know how he got here.
I told you I came down the road. Listen. Fuck you.
Can you just let go of the gate?
I thought you were nice. I just wanted to say hi to your dog.
No, we are nice. We just don't allow visitors on the property.
The woman claimed she had heard about his black German shepherds and wanted to meet them. He calmly explained that he doesn't allow visitors onto his property. He keeps multiple dogs there, some friendly, others trained for protection and rescue work. Letting strangers inside simply isn't an option. But the woman refused to leave. She lingered at the gate, repeatedly insisting that he let her in. Eventually, she walked away. Days later, something far more disturbing happened. In the middle of the night, the trainer was jolted awake by his dogs barking. This wasn't playful noise or random excitement. Their barking was sharp, intense, and defensive. Grabbing a flashlight, he stepped outside to investigate. And that's when he saw her.
Listen, you need to leave now. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna let them out. It's midnight. What are you doing here? Leave now. It's midnight. We're not playing any more games. You are agitating my dogs. I told you late at night my guard dogs are out, and they're out. I'm not gonna be babysitting. You broke into the property at 3 in the morning. They're gonna come out.
I just came to bless you and your dog.
You need to leave now. You need to leave now. I'm letting them out. Don't come any closer. I'm gonna let them out.
You don't have to let them out.
I'm gonna let them out.
Don't do that.
They're here and they're waiting.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna leave. The police has been looking for 4 days now. There's no one around. This is my place. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know where you're coming from.
I just came to bless you.
I'm letting my dogs out.
Don't do that.
She disappeared.
It was the same woman. Standing there in the darkness, she claimed she had come back to bless his dogs. The atmosphere instantly shifted. The trainer appeared visibly tense, alert, and ready to release the dogs if necessary. What had already been unsettling during the day now felt outright disturbing. A stranger showing up once was strange enough, but returning at night, uninvited, and saying things like that, viewers were left with a single, chilling thought. Something was clearly not right with this woman. Three friends had no idea that this night would turn them into victims of a terrifying attack, deep in a forest where no one could hear their cries for help. The chilling incident took place in Belgium, where YouTuber Sayaz and two of his friends set out to explore an abandoned campsite hidden far within a dense forest. It was supposed to be just another urban exploration video. Instead, it became a nightmare. On December 29th, 2023, the group arrived at the edge of the forest and began preparing their cameras. The moment they stepped out of the car, an unsettling sound filled the air, loud, aggressive barking echoing from deep within the woods. It felt wrong, but they pressed on. At the forest entrance, they discovered a fallen tree blocking the path. Carved into it was a disturbing message: private. This is a space of prayer. Just behind it stood another warning sign that read simply, beware. Kiaz pointed out that none of these signs had been there during his previous visit. Despite their growing unease, the group stepped over the fallen tree and continued deeper into the forest. Moments later, an eerie creaking noise echoed around them, as if a door somewhere in the darkness was slowly being opened.
Deur, die wint niet. Ik hoor ze...
Nee, dat was een beest.
Zeker?
Ja.
Oh,
Nee.
waar is dat?
Dat was een deur.
Dat is een deur, hè?
Hallo?
Ik de wind ook gaan, ja.
Schijnen zo.
Oh, maat.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier binnenkomen?
Dit is zo creepy, maat.
The sound was enough to make them question whether they were trespassing. Wanting to avoid trouble, they attempted to find another route in by following a nearby trail. That's when they encountered another barrier. A large tree ahead was wrapped tightly in red and white caution tape. Attached to it was a freshly placed sign reading, "No access. Private area under camera surveillance." By now, it was clear something had changed in this forest. Still, curiosity got the better of them. Determined to capture footage, the three friends climbed over the barrier and continued into the woods, unaware that they were about to walk straight into danger.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, dat is toch niet mijn auto of zo, hè? Lamp aan of niet? Hallo? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey!
Later, as they stopped to adjust their lights, a figure suddenly emerged from the darkness. A woman dressed entirely in white appeared without warning, gripping an axe and moving quickly toward them. Panic erupted instantly. The woman's movements were unnatural and her expression vacant, as if she were in a trance or possessed. The group fled in terror. Police were later called, and the woman was taken into custody. Shaken and exhausted, the three YouTubers drove home in complete silence. Later, they described the encounter as a life-threatening experience that left deep psychological scars. Although they escaped without physical injuries, the memory of that night and the woman in white emerging from the darkness still haunts them. It stands as a chilling reminder that some abandoned places are abandoned for a reason, and some warnings should never be ignored. This video was uploaded by the YouTube channel Exploring Gems, who was solo camping on a remote stretch of BLM land in November 2025. At first, the location seemed ideal: untouched public land, quiet and isolated, with only the occasional logging truck rumbling by during the day. That afternoon, while out on a hike, three blacked-out trucks slowly made their way down the dirt road. A brief, polite wave was exchanged as they passed, nothing that seemed out of the ordinary at the time. But just after midnight, everything changed.
This is the third logging truck I've seen this morning. They're cutting down our forests, left and right. And I'm on BLM land for the first time, which is rather beautiful. The roads are fairly well maintained, but they're doing lots of logging. And there's lots of areas blocked off that say private property. So they're selling off a lot of the land, and this is all like the brush left over from logging. Saw like 5 logging trucks just this morning.
3 sudden heavy knocks slammed directly against the glass of the camper's sliding door.
Someone just came knocking on my door in the middle of the national forest, so. So not cool. So not cool. I froze. My heart stopped. I grabbed my phone to check the security cameras, but of course it hadn't been plugged in. I peeked out through my bunk window cover. I couldn't see a thing. And those motion sensor lights I still hadn't installed, well, they're sitting right there on my dash. Regret hit hard in that moment. Then I noticed a faint glow up the hill and realized it was a fire, where the trucks from earlier had parked. During an active level 1 fire ban, mind you. And that's when it clicked. These weren't the kind of people you want to cross paths with in the middle of nowhere.
Moments like these are the unspoken risk of solo travel in remote places, experiences that stay with you long after they're over, quietly altering how you move through the world from that point on. This video comes from Sydney, the solo traveler behind the YouTube channel Sydney State of Mind. Since April of the previous year, she's been exploring America in her SUV, sharing road trip tips, peaceful moments, and the sense of freedom that comes with life on the open road. Her channel is usually filled with positivity, beautiful landscapes, and inspiring solo travel experiences. But not every journey goes as planned. In this particular video, things take a darker and more unsettling turn while Sydney is camping in the remote wilderness of southeast Missouri. It's September 22nd, 2024. After a long day of driving, she finally reaches the secluded area she'd chosen for the night. The day itself had been everything she hoped for: quiet, scenic, and full of adventure. But the moment she arrives at her campsite, something feels off. The atmosphere shifts. There's a tension in the air that wasn't there before. Subtle, but impossible to ignore. Trusting her instincts, Sydney decides not to stay.
So apparently there's spots like at the end of this road right here. Well, it's supposed to be down this road. This all just looks really spooky. Okay, so basically the issue is that I was supposed to turn down that road down there, and there's a giant tree in front of it, and it looks really creepy and unkept. It's supposed to storm. I'm basically in a hurricane. I'm in like hurricane weather right now. And I have a feeling that if I stay this far deep in the woods, a bunch of branches are gonna fall and block me when I want to leave tomorrow. So I think I might just camp at the fire tower.
Something about the location doesn't feel right, and rather than brushing it off, she prioritizes her safety and turns back, hoping to find another place to camp before nightfall. As daylight fades, she does her best to stay positive, reminding herself that adapting is part of solo travel. Eventually, she settles on a new spot. It's far from perfect, but she commits to making it work, determined not to let the uneasiness ruin her night. What she doesn't realize yet is that the worst part is still ahead.
Where's my spam, bruh? Here's my rice. I'm making spam. I've only had it one other time in my life. The only time I've had spam was on a ski weekend with people from my college, and this girl made spam. Well, this is only a tad creepy. I feel like I'm attracting all the bears. I'm actually really scared of the whole bear thing right now. I don't know what I was thinking. This was so smelly. I should not have made dinner.
Suddenly, a chilling thought hits her. She's deep in bear territory. The smell of the food she had just prepared, something that moments earlier felt comforting, now feels like a dangerous signal drifting into the darkness. Every sound around her seems louder. Every snap of a twig and rustle in the distance feeds the growing fear. Sydney tries to stay calm, reminding herself of the safety precautions she's learned over time. But the discomfort keeps building. The area, already carrying an eerie and unfamiliar energy, now feels like it's closing in on her. And with each passing minute, one question grows louder in her mind. Should I really be staying here tonight?
I actually am very freaked out. Putting my oven away, my stove away. This is just gonna be dirty in my car. I have this plate of food and I need to eat it, but I'm so scared. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to eat as much as I can, and I think I might move to a campsite like over there and just get up in the morning and leave early. I'm almost like about to shake. I'm so scared, but I need to eat. Oh my god. Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever needed spotlights more than tonight. Okay, I'm checking to see if there's even a place to like pull in. I don't know. I'm just spooked. I'm spooked. So moving my campsite, even if it is like just 50 yards, 30 yards, whatever, makes me feel a bit better.
Eventually, Sydney decides to relocate to her car. The move brings a small sense of relief. The food scent is no longer lingering nearby, and the solid frame of the SUV feels like a barrier between her and whatever might be moving through the woods. Still, the tension doesn't fully disappear. Every sound outside makes her heart race, and the fear of a possible bear encounter lingers in her thoughts. But exhaustion finally takes over. Curled up inside her vehicle, Sydney manages to fall asleep. When morning light filters through the trees, she wakes up unharmed but not unchanged. The night leaves a lasting impression. So, was Sydney overreacting? Or was she simply listening to the instincts that may have kept her safe? One thing is certain, when you're alone in the wilderness, trusting your gut is never the wrong choice. The YouTuber known simply as Ian has been uploading videos to his channel for nearly a decade. Now 30 years old, his content ranges from everyday work vlogs to nighttime adventures. But one recent experience shifted from routine to terrifying in a matter of seconds. Earlier this year, on January 18th, Ian uploaded footage detailing a deeply unsettling incident that occurred while he was stealth camping at a McDonald's in Palm Springs. For those unfamiliar, stealth camping involves spending the night in a car or tent in places not intended for camping, all while trying to remain unnoticed. People do it for different reasons, sometimes out of necessity, sometimes for curiosity, or simply for the thrill. While often uneventful, it places the camper in a vulnerable position, exposed to anyone wandering nearby in the dark. That was exactly the situation Ian found himself in on January 16th. He was coming off a 10-hour work shift and was completely exhausted, too tired to film proper content that night. Instead, he decided to hunker down at his usual spot near a 24-hour McDonald's. As an experienced stealth camper who had slept through rainstorms and even sandstorms before, a fast food parking lot felt like a safe, easy choice. It wasn't.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing? Hey, bro. What's up? What are you doing, man? You fucking weird, bro. What the hell, man?
Ian had just settled into the back of his car with his full sleeping setup ready. He was moments away from falling asleep when something jolted him awake. Someone was pulling on his car's door handle, not knocking, but actively trying to open the door. Startled, Ian quickly sat up to see what was happening. Standing outside the passenger door was a silent stranger. What made the encounter especially disturbing was the man's complete lack of response. Even as Ian called out multiple times, asking what he was doing, the man didn't say a single word. He just stared. Ian later described the man as looking like a freaking zombie, shaken badly, so much so that he struggled to even find his glasses to drive. Ian still kept his composure. He stayed locked inside his vehicle and moved to a different spot within the same parking lot.
I gotta get to a safe spot, guys. What's going on, guys? I don't even know if you'll be able to see out that far, but I was parked right over there. Man, I'm still shaking, dude. That was insane. And this guy I just heard like a hello. I was sleeping, and then this dude grabbed my door handle, man. I don't know where he went. And you guys saw him. He was like a freaking zombie, dude. There he is. There he is. I see him. All right, that was definitely the craziest thing that's happened to me so far. I really apologize, guys. The lighting is not going to be great, but I'm just trying to hunker down and go to bed for the night. When I first started watching stealth camping videos, I could have never imagined like the stuff that would actually happen. It seems perfect, right? Like you're in your car, you're traveling, you're sleeping, you're all perfectly hunkered down, everything's going according to plan, like this is your own place. But the scary thing is you're in public, and when you're in public, you have all sorts of people around you and you can't control it. Like you never know what's going to happen. The only thing that you can control is just your own actions.
But the situation wasn't over. Minutes later, Ian spotted the same man wandering the lot, appearing to search for his car. Now genuinely frightened, Ian left the area entirely. He eventually managed to get some sleep elsewhere without any further incidents, but the experience lingered. When recording his account afterward, Ian was still visibly shaken. He mentioned how he'd seen clickbait thumbnails about break-in attempts during stealth camping, but never believed he'd experienced something like that himself. The mystery remains. Who was the silent figure in the parking lot, and what were his intentions? With no follow-up details or explanations provided, we're left only to speculate about what really happened that night. A man walking alone through a remote forest made a discovery that would haunt him long after he left the woods behind. Hidden among the trees, he came across an abandoned campsite, and what he found there raised disturbing questions about a person who had vanished without a trace. Sensing something was wrong, he turned on his phone camera and began documenting everything. Within the camp, he found a dog that had clearly not survived whatever had happened there. Shaken, he buried it before continuing on. A short distance away, near a trail, he noticed something else lying on the ground, an old GoPro camera. In the description of the original video, later uploaded online, the man explained why he chose to share what he found. He wrote that he wasn't a detective or part of a search team, and that even experienced investigators had failed to uncover any trace of the missing person. What compelled him to speak out was the strange campsite, and the footage he personally discovered near the location where a man had reportedly gone missing just days earlier. It was later confirmed that the GoPro belonged to that missing man. His name was never revealed, and his face was censored in the video. The person who found the camera stated that he was not permitted to publicly disclose any details of the investigation or the man's identity without approval from both the police and the family. Before turning the camera over to authorities, he reviewed the recordings. What he saw was deeply unsettling, footage that may have held clues to what happened in the final hours before the disappearance. He saved the files to his computer and then handed the camera over as evidence. The incident took place in a nature reserve covering roughly 10 square miles. Just 4 days earlier, the man had vanished there without a trace. Despite extensive searches by police and rescue teams, no clues had been found at all. The footage released to the public was edited for length, removing repetitive segments but leaving in the most disturbing moments. The questions remain unanswered. Who was the man filming for? Was someone following him through the forest? Did a wild animal approach his tent during the night? Was he running from something or someone when he dropped the camera near a bridge? Or did he disappear in a way that defies explanation entirely? There are countless theories, but not a single confirmed answer. What is known is that this was the exact location where everything unfolded. Police later conducted a full inspection of the campsite, and the man who discovered the camera was questioned as part of the investigation. To this day, no official details have been released, and the missing person has never been found. The footage remains one of the last traces of a man who walked into the forest and never came back. This is Angelo from the YouTube channel Exploring with Angelo. On this trip, he headed into the woods fully prepared, carrying all the gear he usually relied on for his explorations, completely unaware that this journey would take a disturbing turn. As night fell, the forest became thick with darkness. Using only his flashlight, Angelo tried to navigate his way out as quickly as possible. But within minutes, something felt wrong. An unmistakable sense of unease crept in, the feeling that he wasn't alone, that someone was watching him.
Thought I heard something over here too. Oh, what the Hi? Can I help you? What the okay, that's creepy. What are you doing? Okay, this is really weird. What the hell? Why are you just standing there? Okay, this is getting really weird. Hello? Okay. Why is he just standing there? Yeah, I don't know what your problem is, but... What the f... What is his deal? Okay, he just like motioned towards me. Where the hell is he going?
At first, he brushed it off his nerves. Then he saw it. A hooded figure stood motionless beside a tree, its face concealed by shadows. Angelo called out, attempting to make contact, hoping for any kind of response. But the figure didn't react. It didn't move. It simply stood there, staring in complete silence. Panic hit instantly. With adrenaline flooding his body, Angelo turned and ran. His flashlight shook violently in his hand as he tore through the forest. Every snapping branch behind him sounded like footsteps in pursuit. Every shifting shadow felt closer, tighter, more threatening. After a long, desperate sprint, he finally broke free from the trees. Angelo reached his car, jumped inside, locked the doors, and sped away without looking back. His heart was pounding, his hands trembling. What began as a routine exploration ended as a night of pure terror, one Angelo would never forget. Grizzly Gaz is known for sharing peaceful outdoor adventures, often accompanied by his loyal dog, Fendi. Over the years, Gaz has built a dedicated following thanks to his calm, lighthearted approach to wild camping, offering practical tips, honest gear reviews, and clever outdoor hacks. But in one video, his usual sense of comfort is replaced by something far more unsettling. On the 1st of May, 2025, Gaz heads to the Ryburn Reservoir in England, planning a quiet solo camp in the surrounding woods. As he and Fendi arrive, the area feels calm and inviting. They take a relaxed hike around the reservoir, enjoying the scenery while searching for a secluded spot to set up camp.
No idea where she's gone. Not like her, that. Fendi! Oh, she's there. What are you doing, mate? Had me scared then. You find some Maltesers to munch on, did you? Don't do that to me, little divvy. Oh, yak. Got frothy bob all over me hand now. And here we are, home for night. Gorgeous, isn't it?
Once he finds the perfect location, Gaz quickly gets everything in place. He pitches his tent, organizes his gear, and settles in just as the sun begins to dip behind the trees. As twilight sets in, hunger kicks in, and he fires up his stove, cooking a simple but satisfying meal beneath the open sky. The weather is mild, the woods are quiet, and for a while, everything feels exactly as he'd hoped. But as darkness deepens and the forest comes alive with nighttime sounds, that peaceful atmosphere begins to change. At first, it's subtle, just a strange feeling in the air. Gaz tries to brush it off, not wanting to let it ruin the night. Still, something nags at him. Earlier, while scouting the area, he'd noticed an abandoned tent tucked away in the woods. It had looked weathered, partially collapsed, and completely out of place. The memory of it keeps pulling at his thoughts.
Oh, it's all fallen in bits. Bits of legs and that hanging out of it. Bit of extra protein for you. What was that? Did you hear that? Definitely sounded like a tree falling down from over there somewhere. Kept hearing stuff up behind me, and then big crash right over there, but I can't see out through trees.
After some hesitation, and with Fendi close by, Gaz decides to investigate.
Come on then, let's go for a mooch. Oh, it's geese. I thought it was someone going at it. Come here. There you go. Little suitcase Sally. Don't know if this is a good idea now. Come on, we need to go have a look, don't we? There it is, look, the tent. Hello? Hello? There's rubbish everywhere. Hello? Fendi, come here. Fucking pigeon.
When he reaches the tent, he realizes it truly has been abandoned. But instead of feeling relieved, the sight only raises more questions. Gear had been left behind, as if whoever camped there had either left in a hurry or planned to return and never did. The silence around the site feels heavy, almost watchful. Uncomfortable with the situation, Gaz doesn't linger and quickly makes his way back toward his own camp. But the unease doesn't fade. If anything, it grows stronger.
Just heard something splashing about down there. Even just walking over here feels creepy. What do you think, mate? Oh, my head torch seems to be running out of battery now. Watch, it'll dim in a minute. Keeps dimming. Great. That's all we need. Oh, definitely just saw eye shine over there. Oh, what's that down there? Oh, I'll have to find a way.
As he walks through the woods, something else catches his attention. Partially hidden between the trees is a strange weathered structure. Against his better judgment, curiosity pulls him closer. With each step, a cold realization sets in. It matches descriptions he had once read online. The rumored druid's altar, said to be hidden somewhere in these woods. Local stories spoke of eerie gatherings, strange chanting, and shadowy figures seen at night. Some even claimed dark rituals still took place here under the cover of darkness. Whether it was just an old legend or something more disturbing, Gaz knew this wasn't a place he wanted to be after sunset. Then he noticed what sat at the center of the altar, a reversed Bible. Carefully and cautiously, Gaz flipped through the brittle pages, unsure of what he was even looking at.
Here we go, look. What's that on top of it? What is that? Oh, do we dare even come in here? Holy Bible. That says the end there. Is it upside down? Why would it be upside down? Is Genesis the first passage of the Bible? I don't know. It's got some scribbling on there. Can't make out what it says. That's creepy, isn't it? Upside down Bible. Oh, I don't like that. Just seen something flash down there. My mind's playing tricks on me again. Come on. I don't know. Druids don't go by the Bible, do they? And I don't think a Christian would have an upside down Bible. Let me know what you think about it. You're tired now, aren't you, mate? Not surprised. There you go.
He couldn't tell if it had been left behind by thrill seekers or if it carried a darker purpose. Either way, the longer he stayed, the worse the feeling in his gut became. That was enough. With his nerves stretched thin, Gaz calmly but quickly returned to his camp, trying not to let panic take over. By the time he and Fendi crawled into the tent, both were exhausted from the long, uneasy night. Though the discomfort lingered, Gaz chose to stick to his plan rather than retreat in the dark. Sleep didn't come easily. Images of the abandoned tent and the strange altar replayed in his mind over and over. By morning, the woods looked normal again. The daylight stripped away much of the fear, but not the questions. The heavy silence, the strange discoveries, and the lingering chill stayed with him. Gaz had come to the Ryburn Reservoir expecting a peaceful adventure. Instead, he left with a story that still gives him goosebumps to this day. Meet Nikki, the creator behind the YouTube channel Nikki TV. Through her videos, she takes viewers along on immersive car camping adventures in her Toyota 4Runner, sharing both the beauty and the challenges of solo outdoor life. Her content is grounded, practical, and honest. showing real experiences rather than curated perfection. But on her first camping trip of 2025, Nikki would quickly learn just how unpredictable these adventures can become. On January 31st, 2025, Nikki arrived at a remote campground for her first overnight trip of the year. After recovering from pneumonia and spending most of January indoors, she was eager to get back outside. With her camera rolling and her camping gear ready, she hoped for a quiet, restorative night in nature.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Nikki and this is Nikki TV. As you can see from the mess behind me, I just came home from work a couple hours ago and just threw everything in the back of the 4Runner, took out the bed platform, threw in a tent and a chair and some things, and we're hitting the road.
At the beginning of the video, Nikki explains her recent illness and how excited she is to finally be outdoors again. Her mood is upbeat and everything feels routine. As she reaches her campsite, she immediately begins setting up, moving with the calm efficiency of someone who's done this many times before.
Well, we made it to camp, so let's get set up.
Early on, she points something out to viewers, 2 picnic tables sitting side by side near her campsite. At the time, it seems insignificant. Later, it won't. As Nikki continues setting up her tent, she notices something unexpected. Despite it being winter, there are far more campers around than she anticipated. Normally, winter camping means solitude. This time, it's different.
I'm expecting to really not see many people, but when I get to my spot, I'm like in shock at how many people's winter camping.
But she doesn't yet realize how much of a problem that will become. She carefully prepares her sleeping setup, layering padding to insulate herself from the cold ground. Once everything is in place, she takes a moment to appreciate the campsite, unaware that the calm is about to be disrupted. Not long after, another camper approaches and strikes up a conversation. They talk casually about camping gadgets, but even during this brief interaction, Nikki feels slightly uneasy. Being a solo camper means relying on her own judgment, and something about the situation doesn't fully sit right.
I do start my bed every once in a while. Like, I didn't set up my tent because it's pretty wet, obviously.
Yeah.
So, if I bother you, just let me know.
You're fine, because if I get too cold, I'm hopping my butt right in the back of that 4Runner.
Okay.
And if you hear me talking, I promise I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to a GoPro.
Well, I talk to myself.
Well, I mean, I'm basically talking to myself. I still want you to think.
Just as long as you know, if you hear me out, and especially if I got my headphones on,
yeah,
and I'm rocking, if I say, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're totally fine.
Right. I don't think so. Okay. If we were counting on it.
A group of people with a bunch of teenage boys just started setting up.
Then things escalate. A group arrives, several men accompanied by teenage boys, and begins setting up camp uncomfortably close to Nikki's site. What happens next immediately raises alarm bells. The men claim they've booked both Nikki's campsite and the one beside it. With the ranger station closed, there's no way to verify their story.
I'll tell you what, people are just rude anymore. I had to take everything out of my tent and put it back into the 4Runner because these men showed up with 4 different vehicles. First, they told me that they had booked this site and the site beside of me, and that there must have been some misunderstanding, but the problem is that the office is now closed. So I looked at him and I was like, well, you know, I've already been here for a couple hours. My name's on the post. Because they put little tags on the post at each campsite, and they put the dates that you're going to be arriving and the date that you're going to be leaving. So my name is on the tag that's on the campsite post, and it says that I'll be coming in today and leaving tomorrow. So, you know, I looked at him and said, well, I booked this site. It was available. The website allowed me to book the site. If the site was taken, it would have shown me that it was unavailable and it wouldn't allowed me to get the site.
Despite Nikki showing proof of her booking, the situation only becomes more uncomfortable. There are multiple vehicles, multiple adults, and several loud teenagers. But the most unsettling detail isn't the noise, it's how close they choose to set up, barely 20 feet from Nikki's tent. That deliberate proximity makes her instincts kick in. Realizing she doesn't feel safe, Nikki quickly changes her plan. She leaves her tent where it is, packs her essentials back into her 4Runner, and decides to sleep inside her vehicle instead. It's not what she planned, but it feels like the safest option. The night passes without further incident.
Morning. We woke up to rain, which I knew there was going to be a chance of. So, looks like we're going to be packing up in the rain, which is okay. I didn't bring my raincoat or my poncho, but it'll be okay.
By morning, heavy rain moves into the area. After packing up her tent, Nikki heads out for a hike along the icy trails nearby, trying to salvage something positive from the trip despite the uneasy night before. Although she made it through safely, one question lingers. Were the men telling the truth about the booking mistake, or was there something more concerning behind their insistence on staying so close to a solo female camper? That answer will never be known. While stories of the supernatural often grab attention, encounters with other people, especially in remote locations, can be far more unsettling. You never truly know someone's intentions. Thankfully, Nikki trusted her instincts, adapted quickly, and made the decision that kept her safe. And sometimes, that's the most important part of any adventure. In this final video, Emmy from the YouTube channel The Cat Lady Van shared a frightening experience from November 2025. Her usual parking spot had been unexpectedly blocked off, forcing her to find a backup location nearby. The spot worked for the night, but something about the area felt wrong, different from what she was used to. The wind that had been howling earlier suddenly stopped. Everything went silent. Then someone began pounding on the van.
Good morning, everyone. I used to sleep at this Walmart here in Port and Birdie. And yeah, while I was enjoying my road trip this summer, they changed the rule. No overnight parking. They blocked the area that we used to park that was all around there, really far from the actual store was right there. And yeah, they blocked the whole thing. Yesterday I was, in fact in my last video I told you guys, I'm gonna go sleep at Walmart. It's supposed to rain a lot and maybe windy and all this. And I arrived, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna sleep at Walmart. No Walmart anymore. And this morning I need to do a grocery. And usually when I sleep at Walmart, I just kindly go do a grocery, do all my stuff at Walmart because I'm right there. So what's the point of moving? And you know, kind enough to let us sleep there. So, but because I really need like fruit and vegetables, we're gonna go to another grocery. It's not that I'm mad at them, but I'm sure they have a reason. But gonna go to another.
The impacts were loud and aggressive, violent enough to sound as though real damage was being done. This wasn't a knock, it wasn't a joke, it was deliberate.
Alright guys, that's someone banging on my van pretty loud. I'm not sure if he did any damage, to be quite honest. I don't know if he banged with a piece of wood. He banged on another van too. I'm gonna move. So just to explain a little bit the situation, so a man who was just walking the street banged on my van, and the van behind me was a camper van, and we ended up following each other for a little bit just down the road. I went outside to make sure that the person was alright, nothing was damaged on their van, and it ended up to be one of my subscribers. So it was great. We just chat a little bit and we decided to following each other to another location. So it's so funny, the other lady is a subscriber. I didn't know who was a lady and I didn't know she was a subscriber, so we just talked. She said that she's alright, she just wanna leave the area just in case that he's coming back. So we're gonna drive together to another spot. We're just gonna go at the rest area a little bit further down the road. I mean, we're leaving the town to be honest. It's just gonna be better, and I'm going in the night mode tomorrow anyway, so might as well. Alright, let's close this. I'm just gonna say goodnight to the girl behind me. It's bright. You guys are bright. Put my sweater back upside down. It's hard. She said that happened another time to her, and the last time the guy went in the wood and he was banging on the van like quite a lot, and he said something around like, "I'm gonna destroy your van." So she's like, "Oh, this is the time to move." I'm like, yeah. So, used to be a quiet place. I kind of feel like, I don't know why I feel like this, but since I went back on the Vancouver Island, I feel like it's not the same as when I left. Place that I used to park and be like zero problem, never had any issues, started to be like some kind of issue. Was another place the other day, had something bizarre too when I moved in the middle of the night. And the other day in Costco was someone coughing behind my van, and I heard some pretty bad story after that I don't really want to go back to Costco. Me again, I'm not done with this video. Let me show you what I found. Beautiful damage on my van. I knew when he banged on my van it would sound pretty loud. I thought I was in the back, that's why I was looking in the back there. And I didn't know if he had a stick, that's why I said on my video. But I think he probably had a rock and when he banged on my van, because yeah, this looked like quite a big dent, unfortunately. I'm kind of pissed, to be honest, guys.
Sometimes, life on the road means crossing paths with people whose intentions move beyond inconvenient and into dangerous. And when someone strikes your vehicle in the middle of the night, the violation becomes deeply personal, an attack not just on property, but on the only home and sense of safety you have. Phil, the host of the YouTube channel Hick Slam, is known for his adventurous hikes across Virginia. On the day before Thanksgiving in 2021, Phil set out on what was supposed to be a routine overnight hike and camping trip along a section of the Appalachian Trail near his home. But what began as a peaceful adventure quickly turned into something far more disturbing.
Some writing on some of this garbage. This one. Hangman is coming down from the gallows. Song lyrics. Other weird things. Well, hopefully I don't get murdered out here. That would totally ruin my day.
About half an hour into his hike, Phil came across a pile of garbage sitting just off the trail. At first glance, it looked out of place, but what really caught his attention was the cryptic writing scrawled across it. While strange, it didn't immediately stop him from continuing. He even joked to the camera about hoping he wouldn't get murdered. However, as he moved deeper into the trail, things took a darker turn.
The weirdness continues. And there's a dead duck here. A very long note.
Phil began finding more of these rambling notes, and this time they were accompanied by a dead duck. The situation became even more unsettling when he noticed how carefully the notes were arranged, neatly placed between rocks as if left there intentionally. Growing increasingly uneasy, Phil decided to change his plans. Instead of camping at his original spot, he chose to hike 2 miles in the opposite direction toward a shelter, hoping to put some distance between himself and whatever was happening. But even after relocating, the strange presence didn't seem to go away.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. I hang out by the fire. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log where people write in their trail names and what's going on. They can write whatever they want in there. So it's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says. Little engine. Back section. Hiking again finally. Great day on the AT. This was in August. Huh. Someone left some PBRs here, I guess. It's nice and little trail magic. Ah, some comics and writing and stuff. Alright, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here. Let's see if this makes any sense. Sorry if the lighting's bad. I'm just gonna see what it says. Cleaned the outhouse. Picked up trash. Collected wood for others. See Charlie Daniels' Simple Man lyrics, which I used in 2013 Facebook post, and note the rope I found with the silicone sealant can 2 miles south of that. I left it on a stump. In 2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail. What the heck? In solitary confinement, I figured the following out. Refer to Isaiah 28:15 through 9. Here in early 2017, Trump, Nebo, allowed Obama to have the special use of the Air Force One for a trip to Palm Springs. This is the same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of...
That night, Phil struggled to fall asleep. Still half awake, he suddenly heard the sound of footsteps approaching the shelter. His heart began to race as the noises grew closer, making it clear that someone, or something, was nearby. Realizing the danger, Phil made the smart decision to pack up, return to his truck, and leave the area immediately.